We get into the 32 video team series. This is CollegePotatoGM.com. We're doing all 32 teams. We're doing the NFC South right now.
State of the franchises.
State of the franchise, past, present, and future. We just did Drew's Bucks. Now we're gonna do my Falcons. Them Dirty Birds, man.
How's that history?
You gotta give it to me, bro.
What?
To stay a Falcons fan for all these years.
Yeah, bro. You
loyal.
deserve a cuddle. You deserve a cuddle, bro.
Oh, the Falcons have not had back-to-back winning seasons until 2008 when Matt Ryan got there.
That's disappointing.
You know, we went through the, I wasn't there for Bartowski days, but, you know, what I've heard, he was one of our best quarterbacks of all time. Hall of Famer, I think. And then we got into the Dirty Bird era with Jamal Anderson, O.J. Santiago, with Dan Reeves, who was dancing, bro. You know what I'm saying? We went to the Super Bowl, got blown out by the Broncos, but...
John Elway?
Yeah, TD. And we lost that. And then, you know, we went back into beating the Falcons again. And then, let me hold on. Let me go back. Let me start off with why I'm a Falcons guy, bro. Prime time, Florida State, Deion Sanders.
This guy.
When I seen Deion play for the first time, that's what got me, bro. That's why I'm the reason I'm a Braves fan, I'm a Seminoles fan, I'm a Falcons fan, man.
This guy's a Deion fan,
bro. And I stuck with those teams. I kept loyal to them, but playing Tecmo Bowl with Deion, if you could block a kick in Tecmo Bowl, bro,
you nice, bro.
That's my guy, right there,
bro.
So let's fast forward again, bro. We had the Dirty Birds. We had the Michael Vick era. What happened in the Michael Vick era, bro?
But he got caught up killing dogs and dog fighting. Bro. It's just a mess, dog.
Yeah, man. And then Bobby Petrino came in.
Better athlete than football player, Michael Vick,
Michael
bro.
Vick was just a star. He didn't care about the playbook. You know, I'm Michael Vick. Yeah. You know, I'm just gonna show up and I'm gonna I'm an athlete.
Out-athlete everybody on the field.
And that's what he did that for a majority of times, but he couldn't win big games like that. You know, with defenses, scheming against him and all sorts of things. And then
Petrino.
And that's the best thing that happened to us.
Man, he came in and he was a big game talker.
Like a thief in the night, bro.
And just
out the back door, like wind.
Yep. And then I say it's the best thing that happened to us because right after that's when we drafted Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
We brought in Mike Smith. We had Michael the Burner Turner.
Yeah.
And we won.
Back seasons.
Yeah, I think we had 4 straight seasons.
Y'all were competitive. The Falcons were competitive.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then last couple of years, not so much. We reverted back to the old Falcons, and right now we're talking about the present. Yo, what's the problem with the Falcons, man? What do you see as a division rival, man? What you say?
Y'all probably have the same kind of issues with like the Bucks. Y'all boys got no pass rush.
Defense. Defense.
Y'all boys. Who's opposite Julio?
Yeah, we had Roddy White there, and he's old now.
I mean,
he's not there anymore.
He's disgusted with y'all. He's
he's bitter.
Yeah, he's bitter.
He's bitter.
If you know Roddy White, you had to expect he's gonna be bitter. whenever it happened, he was gonna be bitter about it.
Y'all got holes everywhere on the defense, I would say.
Yeah.
And there's nobody opposite.
You did draft a Gator though to save your franchise.
Who's that?
Keanu.
Oh, Neil, baby.
He's not saving our franchise. That's a piece.
Bro, do you hear what your boy, the head coach, is raving about this guy, dog?
Yeah. He's a Gator himself. Yeah,
bro, Gators, bro. The Gators are coming to save Atlanta, bro.
For the Falcons' sake, I hope so, bro.
Yeah.
I hope y'all Gators come and save us, man. And Keanu Reeves, what's his name?
Keanu Neal.
That guy.
He might
He could be anything like him. We good. And then and that's why we brought in Dan Quinn. Like you said, the defense. So we're trying to get that defense right, man. We drafted Vic Beasley a year ago, and we're just trying to get to the quarterback. Ever since John Abraham, we haven't had a consistent pass rush, man.
What's it? The dude from LSU y'all drafted,
Deion Jones
in the second round.
The boys trying to implement that cover 3 Seattle defense.
Yeah, that's.
We'll see if it happens. I mean, like I said, where's the pass rush coming from? Is Vic Beasley gonna ball out?
I think Vic Beasley had a pretty good rookie year. He just never finished. Yeah. He had a lot of quarterback hurries and things of that nature, but he never finished. And I'm hearing that they moving him to linebacker.
Yeah.
Play that Bruce Irvin role.
So we'll see. On passing situations, he's definitely going to be rushing the quarterback.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll see how that goes, man. But like you said, on the offense, man, they just need to find another weapon outside of Julio Jones.
They need more weapons for Matt Ryan. I think. I know the Shanahan offense tends to place a ton of emphasis on the X receiver, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And Julio's going to eat regardless. He's going to. But when Matt Ryan was at his best, he had a Tony Gonzalez. He had a Michael Turner to turn the ball to. You know what I mean? They were a much better team in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? And we've talked about the reason why they struggle there. They're a quarterback, and I'm a big Matt Ryan fan. I've always been a big Matt Ryan fan. You have to have a certain level of talent. Matt Ryan's not Brady. He's not. He's not. You know what I'm saying? There's only one Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? So, as much as I like Matt Ryan, he needs a better supporting cast. Yeah. He needs, and certainly, obviously, you guys already taled about the defense. They got a long way to go. So,
well, right now I know. Right now, somebody's screaming right now. Sanu.
Muhammad.
Come on, man.
Yeah, we gave that boy some money, man.
Yeah, man. And he's been a slot receiver all his life, man. So you gonna turn it? Well, since he's been in the league, you guys gonna turn him into a what's that? The Y?
I think he's an upgrade, but not at the price tag. You could. I know Headley, you mentioned you would have liked to see Travis Benjamin.
Yeah.
A guy that can kind of take the top off the defense and clear things up. And on the rest of the field for Julio.
But we could admit though that our offense have better weapons this year than last year.
Yes, I would agree with that. Austin Hooper,
and then Sanu to replace Roddy White and whoever, Jacob Tamme or whoever we had.
And I think over the last couple of years they've done quite a bit to improve that offensive line to protect Matt Ryan as well. They went Jake Matthews, Alex Mack. They've added. They brought in Chris Chester, Levitre.
Yeah.
So I think
I think
the
X factor for us offensively is Florida State, Devontae Freeman. It's just funny how we always go back to the 7th, but no, I think he is our key and our X factor, and he needs to have a big season.
So let me. I do want to point this out about Freeman. You know how hard I am on Freeman. I think Freeman is a Swiss Army knife of a back. I really do. He impressed me last year. Towards the end, he wore down. He's not a bell cow. He's not. He doesn't have that kind of. He doesn't have the size, or he wore down at the end of the season. He wasn't as effective. If you look at his breakdown, he had 3 or 4 really impressive games. What Freeman brings to the table is receiver type ability out of the backfield. They need him and Tevin Coleman. They need both of them.
That's the problem. Tevin Coleman, there's times where he kind of mirrors, you know what I'm saying, Freeman. And then the times like this guy's fumbling the ball, and
he was a rookie, man. He was a rookie. So hopefully the second year.
Think about Freeman his first year. Mind you, he didn't get a ton of opportunity, but he wasn't nearly as effective as he was in limited snaps. Even if you looked at it, a small microcosm of last year, Freeman wasn't necessarily ready his rookie year. I'm not making an excuse for Coleman, but I don't think they're mirror images or carbon copies of one another. I think they bring 2 different things to the table, and I think they need both of them to be successful.
No one's a bell cow.
Freeman needs Coleman to keep him healthy throughout the whole season.
Exactly.
And to your point, last year we started out 5-0. The first 8 games we were like 6-2, and ever since Freeman fell off second half is when the Falcons fell off. And like I said, he's the X factor of the Falcons right now.
Yeah,
definitely.
So. Ultimately, I think we could all agree that it's the defense has to get better, and the supporting cast, obviously, you got to get better on both sides of the ball. You got to get better on both sides of the ball. The Falcons need more talent. They need more talent, and Dan Quinn has to coach them up.
He's got to coach them up, and the Falcons aren't as bad in terms of holes at every level as the Saints are. So they're a step above them. Just like you said, they just got to fill them. Just fill them holes. It's gonna take time, man.
Yeah.
But you got Matt Ryan, you got Julio Jones, you got Devontae Freeman. Y'all gonna compete.
And let's talk about the future. We can get to the future, and we didn't talk about their front office. And I know you mentioned that this has been an issue, that it's too much Chiefs,
not enough Indians.
Not enough Indians.
Yeah, too many cooks in the chicken, bro.
Who's the other guy out there? We got
Pioli. Yeah.
And the whole sound game pumping artificial noise into the stadium.
Yeah.
It just came from the Patriots and brought it to us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And
what's funny about the whole Soundgate thing is that it didn't help.
Didn't win any games.
It didn't help.
Didn't even help, man.
So
yeah. That's the Atlanta Falcons for you, man. CosmotatoGM.com. Like, subscribe, comment. Please comment. We on iTunes. Where we else? We
Podcast Addict. We on Instagram, Facebook. Rate us on iTunes.
Couch Potato GM Facebook group. You know, a lot of great discussion in there. A lot of nuggets. Sean DeFay. Yeah, definitely. Sean DeFay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Got him, bro.